What's up, YouTube? It is your girl Aquarius. Welcome back to the channel. It's been a minute, but I'm here to talk about life. Yes, I'm here to talk about life, and how we grow and how we evolve and ways that we get to grow, you know. And if people are intentionally learning to grow or are they combating themselves. And I think that we can say that there's a lot of both going on with that. And one of the things that has really helped me understand myself, understand the phases in life that I'm going towards, or that I'm looking to evolve in, what the theme of my year is gonna look like. So that way I can actually be an active participant in my life in the things that I need to learn and grow from. And maybe also too, it'll things that will allow me to see that other people see something in me that I don't see in myself. Um, I think that we are not intentionally growing in that way. And if we are, there's somebody out there that isn't. And a lot of the kids these days are definitely not being raised to do that. And so one of the things that's helped me over the last 7 to 8 years has been astrology. Now, I know that everybody has their thoughts and opinions on what they think that astrology is, but we're not talking to you, so you can scoot to the back, okay? But to the people who are open-minded and they enjoy seeing life from many perspectives, please step forward because this conversation is for you. Um, Astrology has taught me the things about myself that I didn't see clearly. Astrology has taught me a lot about my habits and the things in life that I've been trying to evolve or have been evolving. It allows me to understand where that stems from. It allows me to see what type of year I'm having or about to have, or if my relationship is compatible with other people. Is my home relationships or my family relationships compatible to me? And if it's not working, why? And where does that stem from? And where does my family receive this identity thing from? What is, what is my children's life going to be, and how can I learn to work with immature energies? How can I learn to evolve my own immature energies? And I don't care what you say, unless you go to school to be a psychologist, which everybody isn't. Those are pretty much things that we need in order to evolve that we're not being taught, whether it be at home. And I can guarantee at home, because that's where it all starts from. All of our subconscious programming starts at home. Okay. Not everybody's work relationships or sector in life is not always what they see. Now, some people are just living life, it is what it is. It's the greatest, but you have a lot of people who are not in the right jobs. They settle for BS at work. Why? And maybe I'm just a curious person that I need to know why. Some people are okay with being puppets, and if that's you, that's good for you. But if it's not you, like, w- how do we evolve from that? How do we incorporate different elements in life, not just one element in life? Why don't we just incorporate more? Why do we have to rely on other people to tell us who we are when we know each other better than anybody should know us? And the people who don't know themselves, you know yourself. You just confused at everything that any and everybody else taught you about yourself, or you allow your family allowed you to think about yourself. So I just am like so curious to know, how are you guys taking care of yourselves? How are you intentionally living life? How are you elevating yourself to do more, to do better, to become better without seeking validation or help from somebody else. What are you doing? What things are you looking clearly? You know, um, work has been a big theme for the last 2 years. And using astrology, I knew that. I didn't know what it would look like and how it would show up, but I knew enough at that time to know that there are some things that need to be some habits and routines at home that need to be changed. And I knew that at work, the sector of work and what I was tolerating and what I was appreciating at work needed to be it needed to be looked at. It was up for review. And I knew that my things at work would be changing over the last few years. So when I was going through my experiences at work, I realized the energies were just at play and that the people who were expressing those energies were just vessels to teach me something about myself that I didn't know or that I need to know or that I need to be able to um gain more knowledge or wisdom under. So I'm curious to know how you guys are doing it, but I also want to know how is that working for you? And where are you at in your evolution of growth? You know? Um, are you happy? Are you sad? Are you overwhelmed? Are you overstimulated? What is the root of those problems? And how is that allowing you to work on personal endeavors? How is that allowing you to connect with your family? How are your relationships being hurt from these things? How are they growing in these things? You know, these are questions that I want to know because as you get older, you know, a lot of your personal growth, it reflects your growth with other people, you know, and as we're out here doing these things and answering these questions, who is teaching these kids? Who is teaching these high schoolers? These kids who are in middle school, who are keep teaching these little kids how to live life intentionally, how to be self-sufficient, how to think for themselves, how to understand and articulate things for themselves, how to understand their energy at home, what they need, how they speak up to people, their boundaries, who's teaching these kids? You taking them to school and letting somebody else teach them? So I just had some questions out here, and this is something that's really been on my heart because, just like everybody else in the world over the last few months, like I'm going through some things. And I have a lot of questions in regards to how other people are thinking because of the things that are coming up for me in my life. And nothing that's bad because I've been learning to intentionally live life for the last 3 years. So I'm understanding how relationships have to evolve. I understand relationships with myself and how I am to evolve and what boundaries I need to take and, where I can be a little bit more disciplined at in certain sectors of my life. Like that's something that I'm intentionally working on and learning to be patient with my kids, learning that my kids are created completely different than I am and their needs are going to be different. Who is teaching these kids these things? And I just want to know. So if you guys, feel free to leave me a comment because I feel like this is a topic of discussion that we don't necessarily talk about enough. I think amongst ourselves, with amongst other people in our generation, we talk about being intentional and accountable for things, but when it comes to certain behaviors, certain mindsets, when we're instilling in these kids, like, are we intentionally growing our kids? Are we intentionally, giving them the knowledge that they need? Or do we just give them a phone and let them be like, all right, get out of my way. I don't feel like being bothered with you today. I'm going through something. Go watch TV. Who's teaching these kids? Talk to me. Let's have a conversation. Leave me a comment, like, and subscribe. We'll chat later. Bye.